Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. The May Fairy here, and if you're new and joining me today, welcome. This is a PG-13 channel that's often about any kind of paranormal story time that I can come across, as well as any magical tips and tricks that's up my sleeve. But today's episode is going to be about the correlation between elementals and drugs. Of course, this video isn't to offend anybody. I'm just here to talk about my own wonderings and my own theories and talk about spiritual things as I always do. And the latest topic of discussion, at least in my friend circle, is the heroin epidemic in Tennessee. And we know that heroin comes from the poppy plant if you do your research on it. So think about the different natures of magical plants. Not even just magical plants, just the fact that different plants have their own nature and their own ways and their own things that they're good at. So for example, think of like healing plants, like aloe vera has a healing nature. Cannabis, of course, we all know has a healing nature. Poison ivy has a poisonous nature. I don't even know why poison ivy is on this planet. Also, belladonna is a poison. Also, fun fact, belladonna is an ingredient in babies' teething medication. It calms them. So maybe belladonna in small amounts has a sedative kind of nature. But belladonna in big doses it has a poisonous nature. So different plants have their own things that they are good at or what they're used for. So if we think about the association between elementals and plants, and if you're unfamiliar with the term elementals, we can call them fairies, or we can also think of them as spirits of the elements of the earth. So different elementals have different jobs with working with plants. So some elementals will work with the aerials of the plants, with the petals and with the leaves. Some elementals will work on the stalks or the stems of the plants, and some of them will work with the root system of the plants. So like, for example, here in Appalachia, all the way up to Nova Scotia even, there's many sightings of people seeing what they describe as root men. People will often talk about like something that looks like an ant off of like Lord of the Rings, like tree men or tree bark men. They're often portrayed as having a physical appearance as what they work with, what they come from, what they fix, what they are a guardian of. So different elementals have different, I don't know, positions as far as working on plants, as well as there's some elementals that work with the breaking down and the decomposition of the plants as well. That's why in a lot of cultures it's bad luck to have a dead bouquet of flowers in your house. At least in Filipino culture, some Native American, some Asian, at least in feng shui, it's bad luck to have dead flowers in your house, and it's because it brings decay, it brings illness, it attracts the spirits that their jobs are to work with decay and decomposition. So with that being said, think of the poppy plant in Conjure. Now, we know that people often use parts of the poppy plant for confusion. Even think back to when you were a kid and you saw The Wizard of Oz, or recently, I don't know, I love The Wizard of Oz. So think back to the part in The Wizard of Oz where they walk through the poppy field, and it's like, it puts them in a daze, it's magical, it makes them go to sleep. So yeah, Conjure, at least, part of the poppy plant is used for confusion. It's often used in court cases, stuff like that. So now think about the many phases of a plant. When it starts off from like a seed or a bulb, as it starts to sprout, when the plant is at its fullest, think about what elementals are at work, and then at what point in time do the elementals that start with the decomposition of the poppy plant, when does that start? So I wonder, now I have no knowledge about preparation for heroin or any drugs for that matter, but like be thinking of like, I wonder what phase that this plant is in when people go and harvest parts of it to make heroin. Could that potentially be a reason why some batches are more harmful than others? Could that be a reason why some batches people do just fine with? And then I wonder if some of the time if people start harvesting from this plant to make heroin when it's already in its decomposing state, when the elementals that are working on it are killing it, and then here people go injecting themselves with it. So that's just something I've been pondering lately. I want you guys to tell me what you think about it. And we're not here to talk about science, of course. I'm well aware that they like to cut heroin with fentanyl and mix it with all kinds of other things. We're here to talk about elementals. So tell me what you guys think. Send me a private message, put something down in the comments. I want to know what y'all think. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at the next video. Mwah!